Hello, everyone, and welcome to the English Journey podcast. My name is Tom, and I'm so happy to have you here with me today. This podcast is a place to practice your English through listening, shadowing, and repeating. Step by step, our speaking grows when we practice together. Today's topic is something very close to the heart: childhood. Childhood connects us all. No matter where we are from, we all have stories from when we were small. Stories of games, family, school, and adventures. Some are happy, some are funny, and some are even a little sad. But every story shapes the person we are now. So let's travel back together into my childhood. I grew up in a small town, not very big and not very famous, but to me, it was the entire world. Our neighborhood was a quiet place where everybody knew each other. The houses were close and the streets were not crowded with cars like they are today. Most of the time, children played outside. We didn't need phones or tablets to feel entertained. All we needed was space, friends, and a little imagination. I remember the street where I lived. It had big trees growing along the side. In summer, those trees gave us shade, and we could sit under them when the sun was too hot. The street was not dangerous, so we could run, we could ride bicycles, or we could play football without worrying too much. When I think of it now, I realize how free we were. Today, children often stay inside because parents are more careful about safety, or maybe because technology has replaced many outdoor games. But back then, for us, the street was the playground. One of my favorite games as a child was hide and seek. Do you know this game? One person closes their eyes and counts. The others run and hide. And then the seeker has to find everyone. We played this game almost every evening, especially in the summer when the days were long and the light stayed until late. I always felt so excited trying to hide in the smartest place. Sometimes I would squeeze behind a wall, or climb up into a tree, or crouch low inside the garden. My heart would beat fast because I was afraid to be found, but also because it was so much fun. We also built forts with blankets, boxes, and branches, pretending to be explorers or pirates. Looking back, I see we didn't need expensive toys. Imagination was enough. One of my best memories is learning to ride my red bicycle. My first bicycle was small and red. I remember my father teaching me how to ride it. At first, he held the seat behind me while I tried to balance. I felt scared, but I trusted him. And one day, he let go without telling me. Suddenly, I realized I was riding alone. I shouted in surprise and laughed so much. That moment is unforgettable. It was not just about learning to ride. It was about learning to trust myself, to feel independent. Family was at the center of my childhood. We didn't have a lot of money, but we had warmth and love. Sundays always meant lunch together, simple meals like soup, bread, or roasted chicken. These small family traditions now feel like treasures. In the evenings, we often sat together, talking or watching the little TV we had. And before bed, my mother sometimes told me stories, tales about heroes, animals, and magical places. They were not just stories, they were lessons about kindness and bravery. Even now, I can still hear her voice when I think about those nights. And, of course, childhood also means school. My school was an old building with tall windows and a big playground outside. We wore uniforms every day. I remember the smell of chalk in the classrooms, the sound of bells ringing, and the feeling of carrying books in my backpack. I was not always the best student. Sometimes mathematics gave me headaches, but I loved reading and writing. I loved stories, and I liked sharing my thoughts on paper. Even now, this is something I have carried with me into my work and my adult life. When I look back, I can see that the seeds of who I am today were already planted when I was sitting in those classrooms, listening to lessons, drawing pictures in the margins of my notebook, or secretly staring out the window, daydreaming about adventures. Teachers were strict sometimes, but many of them were kind. They encouraged us. And some advice they gave me still stays in my mind, even today. I realize now how much influence a single teacher can have on a child. And maybe you also have one teacher you will never forget. When I compare my childhood with life now, I feel the changes. We did not have smartphones, social media, or online games. We played outside until dark. We wrote letters by hand. We had to wait days to see printed photographs. Life was slower, but somehow richer with simple joys. Today's children grow up in a digital world full of technology and fast connections. It is not better or worse, just different. Technology gives many opportunities, but sometimes it takes away the simple pleasure of playing outside, face-to-face with friends. I feel grateful that I grew up with real adventures, with close friendships and family love. Whenever I feel stressed as an adult, I remember those days, and they give me a sense of peace and balance. So, that was a little journey into my childhood. I hope, while listening, you thought about your own childhood too. Maybe you remembered your school days, your favorite game, or the smells of your family kitchen. Childhood is something we carry in our hearts forever. No matter how old we are, there is always a child inside of us, curious, playful, and hopeful. Now, I encourage you to think, what is your favorite childhood memory? Was it a game with your friends? A story from your grandmother? A holiday that made you feel excited? Reflect on that, and maybe share it with someone close to you, or even practice telling it in English. Before we finish, let's practice one sentence together. Listen first and then repeat after me. My childhood gave me memories that I will always carry in my heart. One more time. My childhood gave me memories that I will always carry in my heart. Excellent. Thank you so much for joining me today on the English Journey podcast. I am grateful for your time and your practice. Remember, every time you listen, repeat, and speak, your English improves step by step. Keep practicing, keep smiling, and enjoy the journey. I look forward to meeting you again in the next episode. Until then, take care and keep learning.